Yo, what's happening, bulls? Woo! Happy Saturday. Good morning. The altcoin market is in absolute shambles. Everything's just down. Almost everything's down. A couple of straight ones are up and green. You'll see that over here when we look over in the crypto bubbles, but we'll just have a bit of fun. We'll find some trades. I mean, you probably all just seen that trade that we did, or the two shorts that we did. Missed out on one of them, but the two ones that we got were massive. You've probably seen it over here on the, where are we? Blockchain bulls, near plus 480%. I actually closed it for 550 was the highest. We got ETH gains. We've got an MU short that's going on at the moment, which is massive. Just, it's all happening, boys. But we need to find more trades, you know. that's how we go. We're making some coins, so made a couple grand in a week or two, 11 days I think it was. So that's nice after the October 10th wreckage, and we'll just get back on the horse, keep making gains. So we'll just go through some charts. We'll go through, I've got the top 100, not all the top 100 obviously, it's constantly changing. So I've got, you know, relatively the top 100. If I miss one, just chuck it in the chat. Let me know if you want me to look at a specific coin for whatever reason. We'll go through it. And this is what I do pretty much daily, and that is what finds us those amazing, profitable 6x's, 10x's, more, those big trades, those crazy entries. We find them, we look at every coin, we're just sticking to the top ones now. We're just sticking to the top 100s, keeps it more entertaining, more personable. You probably understand them more because you know these coins. And the main thing, less volatile. We want to keep the volatility down. We want to keep the scamminess down. We want to, you know, avoid the stop hunts, the liquidity hunts, the wicks, the big destroying wicks where you're right about the trade, but the stop loss comes up and finds your cluster, you and your friends' clusters, and uses you as liquidity for the real move. We're going to avoid that by trading higher market cap, lower volatility, larger volume coins, hopefully, and we'll just take it down to the top 100 relatively. So stay with this, and we'll just go through them. We're just chilling. So, you know, if you got shit to do, whatever, watch it later or put it on in the background. But we're just kicking it, and we're just gonna be going through some coins, waking up, chilling. But essentially, I'll just tell you where every coin is sitting, chart-wise, technically, what my opinion is on all of them, because as you know, show me the chart, I'll tell you the news, I'll tell you the reality of the situation. We can just see it obviously because the chart shows where the money is coming in and coming out. When a move is trending like this current move, obviously it's quite difficult to find the bottom, because these coins can just continue. You don't know who's, you know, it's cascading liquidity events. So things may look like a bottom. Oh, that bottom's broken. Oh, that bottom's broken. That bottom's broken. You know, another big company that had fucking 5% of the, what's a shit coin, 5% of the AVAX supply just got wiped out because they had the Bitcoin on 5x leverage, and now they're liquidating all their AVAX, and you know, the technical analysis doesn't mean jack shit. But we can get a bit of a grounds, and there's a lot of things that are starting to show up now after last night's big liquidations, because it's, you know, the bigger the liquidation, the more difficult it is for the price to get back to that area in the short term. So we'll talk time frames, we'll talk charts, we'll talk coins, and I'm just going to go through them in alphabetical order. I'll just start off with these crypto bubbles. It's fun to have a little look at. Again, write something in the chat, and ask me any questions. Finally seeing ZEC, Zcash having a bit of a pullback, but in the grand scheme of things, it's up pretty good. It's handling itself pretty well. The month, it's up 128%. Some other keys, Dash, that was clearly a massive short squeeze. It's just bleeding off since then. You see a few other ones of these coins that just have massive short squeeze like this. FET, that was just clearly a short squeeze, but you can make shitloads of money if you get it on at the right time. Usually have low volatility contractions right before it. We get sometimes we get them, sometimes you don't. It's hard to tell. You can see that. what happens with these shit coins where nobody talks about is an ICP, same sort of deal, is that they start pumping. Everyone's like, why the fuck's this pumping? No one can work out why it's pumping. And then everyone starts shorting it. And those shorts just add fuel to the fire and give more stops, power to move the price. So that's the hour, everything's sort of bouncing. Okay, so it's been a good hour. ZEC is bouncing the strongest. We like to see what ones bounce the strongest after a big red day. SUI, OP 4, ZEC 5.6, Dogecoin and Solana sitting at about 2, relatively same. But again, in the day, there's some big pain on some relatively decent coins. If the market was good enough, we would be we would be jumping at these bargains. You know, Pangu, Render, Hype, again ZEC, HBAR, Doge, Solana, some big coins, some big names getting absolutely butt-fucked. Tau, Maker, you know, it's not that long. These coins all have these narratives. It's the privacy narrative at the moment. Privacy narrative at the moment that is fueling the market. You know, it works. It's working parallel with Bitcoin FUD. You know, Bitcoin FUD, AI, nothing safe. Andrew Tate, privacy solutions. He's obviously bagged up and ready to pump privacy solutions. He's giving out breadcrumbs, make people feel like they've earned the find. Makes them go more in when they feel like it's a secret, or when they feel like they've found something that other people haven't. Makes them feel like that they are the first one to find it, and then he slowly just starts releasing more information. He's a funny cunt. All right, so looking over, let's pretty much get into it. Just a little key thing, just to let you know. At the same time, is that Bitcoin open interest is terribly obliterated. The funding rate has finally reached red. Yeah, this is not the only and not a defining moment, but the funding rate reaching red is a. It's like cooking. Let's just say you're cooking spaghetti bolognese. All right, you're cooking a spaghetti bolognese, and the funding rate is the carrot. All right, you don't need carrots to make a spaghetti bolognese, but if there's carrots in there, it'll contribute to the nutritional value and the enjoyment of the spaghetti bolognese. So seeing a red funding rate is just like another ingredient working towards the same result that you want, and that result is seeing that the longers, the leveraged longers, are not betting the bottom dollar that it's going to go up at the moment in a majority decision. Most of them have been wiped out. So as longs get wiped out and people stop trying to go back in with another long, the shorters start being the dominant side of the trade, and these shorters are now predicted in the coming hours to be, because it's coming back and forth. It's going in and out of when the shorters are in control, the longers are in control, shorters are in control. So at the moment, it's predicted to be the shorters in control, and that means that more people are coming to the party to short the bottom here, and more shorts are left in the trade than longs. One, two, or both, or a combination of that. You can also see in this liquidations map here that this is an hourly view. If we just zoom out a little bit, 4 hour, you can see that nothing even comes close to the 10th of October, $732 million just on these exchanges. But if we zoom in a little bit, come a bit closer, we can see over the span of the last at least month of November, these past 21st, pretty much just the past day, yesterday, this is American, basically yesterday was the worst for the longs on Bitcoin, in the past month. So longs got absolutely sidelined heavily yesterday. So, that's Again, what you want to see when you start throwing around the bottom word, the B word. Another thing that looks good for the bottom, we'll just talk about Bitcoin real quick and then we'll flick over and we'll start cruising through the altcoins. So, one thing to talk about here clearly is this is a 30-minute chart. We'll just zoom out. One candle equals 1 hour. You can see this is just a serious phase one trend. Phase one trend, very tight in this channel until what happened here. A new short-term time frame trend was born, like that. Okay, this is phase two trend. The more you zoom in it, you'll see that it just gets steeper and steeper. If we went to like a 15-minute chart, so this is where you sort of call it, where you're like, all right, this is the end of it, or could be the end of it. And by the end of it, I mean, just this trend. The trend just gets steeper and steeper and steeper until it bounces, reverses, and starts a fresh trend. That's what's trying to happen right now. It's not out of this phase one channel, obviously, but it can be. This is the sort of the start of it, right? It just exaggerates, goes to the end, exaggerates the last, 10% of it, 20% of it's usually the most hectic, and that's what's just happened. So it's got the hallmarks of a potential trend end. Not necessarily a macro reversal. Like, I'm not saying that the entire bottom is down here, but it could be. And if it's not, at least there's a really good shot at a lower high in Bitcoin here. Something like coming out and taking out these, or taking out these, or even coming back up into the low 100s and taking up these, which is more of a long shot. But something like this, just a big, lower high. You know what I'm saying? So probably what's going to happen, something along these lines. All right, let's move into these shit coins and start looking for an actual trade. We're going to go through them. A lot of them are going to have scribble on it, but you'll just get used to reading and understanding, interpreting the scribble. A lot of it is from messages in the past, so I might just delete a little bit as I go, but some of it's important to predict the future, right? Just so it's a little work done. This is Bonk 12-hour chart. Most of the analysis will be on 12-hour chart. It's basically a daily in the stock market, but in crypto I really find it to be a sweet spot. A daily can just be, it's half a daily, obviously 12 hours, so it just really cuts a daily in half. It just gives you a bit of a better look inside. So this is Bonk 1000 Bonk. It's just basically Bonk, the chart of Bonk. I'm going to say it again, Bonk. And you can see there's just a terrifying downtrend. The pain is significant. From these highs, it's down massively, 78%. I mean, on that wick it got down to minus 90%. So the price going up here means somebody bought it there. So yeah, that's a real bonk. And if you bought that there, unlucky USO. We'll cruise a trend line along here. Just keep it simple. This is a very simple trend line. You see these bull traps, just trying to get people convinced that this is the bottom, while more shorts load their bags. Smarter money. Trend lines, as they're dynamic. You can move them around. They're really going to just suit your preference. They're never perfect. They're never going to be perfect. Don't bother. You just want to take up most of the price action, bare minimum. You'll be able to find pivot points and line it up. I mean, that looks fine with that. Slid along here, something like that. You're never going to get it perfect. You're always going to argue with somebody about where it's going. But if you can capture about 90% of the price action, then you're doing it right. Bonk looks fucked. There's no real, momentum's down. Volatilities continue to expand to the downside. Shorts are getting paid. Shorts aren't fully taking profits yet. You can't see massive profit taking just yet, but you can see an extension of this overreach. So you might get a bounce here. It probably looks something similar to that. Can you make money off that? Absolutely. Will there be other coins that look better than that? Look at that 25% gain. You know, you put 4x leverage on that, that's doubled your money. We don't have much like bullish divergence really at all down there on the RSI. Working on my own indicator here. Just looking for any sort of sign of reversal, and you don't have it. The moving averages is just so far away. Everything's fucked on bonk. So if you're a long-term bonk holder, you're basically sitting at a huge macro support that was always, you know, once this big downtrend was confirmed, this turned into a bull trap. It was always sort of going to get broken. You can see this here. This just bottoms. You know, people, if anyone still had their stop losses under here, probably anybody that longed it around here would have put their stop losses under there. They're looking for areas, and they're getting fucked. So, you know, new lows on bonk, fucking terrible. You can see all the way back here in 2023. If you zoomed the chart out to a weekly chart, you would see some serious. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete these. Like I said, hey, hang around if you want to learn, hang around if you want to eventually find a trade with me. But if you want to be fucking entertained with your tiny little TikTok attention span, yeah, or whatever, you know, go fucking scroll, go get stuck in a scroll hole on a beautiful Saturday. 2-day chart, we got a knot down here. I mean, fuck, you don't want to see it coming all the way down here, but you know, it did. That was its previous support. Look at that. So it does matter. You know, oh man, look at that chart. That's fucked. Yeah. And just in the future, you will never remember this, but if you ever buy bonk again, sell it when it gets up to 3 cents, boys, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. 6 times the owner, creator, got rid of it at that same price. Poor Hans, no thanks. Bonk, we're not going to touch bonk. We're not looking at bonk in any way, shape or form. These will speed up some of these. We got Pepe, again, meme coins obliterated, not on the left. You can see on this run up, like that's all we got really. That's all we've got for liquidity zones and areas. You can see this is pretty much where they all came in. You would have made a shit ton of money if you just set limit orders at the original knots on the run up. So you always pretty much end up getting hit. Very, very high probability that they end up getting hit, and they did, and it did. And it probably will again. You know, you couldn't untie the knot. It's going to come down and try and untie it again. Fuck, it's grim, man. Looking at this, you know, I can definitely see these altcoins at least. What's that? How much more of a dump is that? Yeah, I can see a lot of these altcoins coming down another 20%. Ugh, fuck. Makes me yeah, I sort of had in my mind we might look for some longs today, but this shit is grim. This is the Aave chart. You can see got a lot of work done on it because of why? Because it is a good coin to trade. Just remove that, fuck it off. You can see, oh man, we're going to see a lot of the same shit, but we're looking for outliers, you know. And if you're sitting here looking at this and you're like, man, this is boring, well, that's why none of your trades work. It's like a treasure hunt. So this is nice to see. I mean, it had a blue. I thought it had a blue bar. I swear we got a blue bar. Mustn't have. It must not have procced. Must have been blue for a bit, and then the volatility expansion began. If this closes, all right. So if this closes above there. Of a long head fake confirmed. Alright, so it has this new move On the blue bar, it has this new move where it went like this. If it comes back down here, that's going to be clearly a head fake. You can run it early if you were convinced. I mean, it's broken down below. This is a big opportunity for a bear trap right here under this trend line. I mean, it's very, very, very longable and tempting. I looked at this one the other day as well, so I'm just going to put a little note there for a potential long on Aave. It's just got a couple of hallmarks. Cardano, similar sort of deal. Fuck. So it's just sad, isn't it? It's grim, man. It's grim. It's truly been a year-long downtrend on a lot of these coins. Year-long downtrend. Cardano is just fucked, completely fucked, and it's very sad because I do know people that have hundreds of $1,000s in coins like Cardano and XRP, coins of old, even Polkadot, and back in the day, back in like 2017, 2018, it used to be like people would have thousands, hundreds of the whole net worth in like ETC and Ripple as well back then, but like ETC as well, like Ethereum Classic and Filecoin, even just coins that they get sold on the narrative, and it's quite sad. I mean, I had quite a lot of money in Dogecoin, so let's not take me off the fucking list of perpetrators. Oh man. All right. So Cardano's grim. We don't want to touch Cardano. I mean, look, what you want to do typically. So what we're trying to look for here is coins that have a longer way to fall if the market continues dumping. A longer way to fall. Weak coins that have a longer way to fall. Weak coins that have no business being at a higher price. Weak coins that are being pushed for liquidity, that are getting liquidity from long stop losses, so we can jump on board that. That's what we did with the NIA trade. Or we're looking for like overextended longs, just for like a risky dice roll, time along. That's what we're looking for. So as you can see here, the with trend play. So what you want to do is you want to fade the against the trend move. Fade the against the trend move. Things like that. 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 So you're fading the against the trend move. It worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. I'll just say 5, 6. It's just worked 6 times in the last 2 months on Cardano. Low volatility too. Look how tight these candles are. It's fucking beautiful. You can use really, really high leverage here. I mean, even if you let's just say you shorted right here, you can. What's the move after that was 3%. You can you can use 20x leverage or whatever, 25x leverage you'd get away with, massive. So 25x leverage followed by a 100% gain. Wow. 25 times your money. You just 25 times your money in 6 weeks. So like put $500 on it, put $1,000 on it, 25 grand, even put $100 on it. It's nice. And then in saying that, $100 risk isn't what you're going to be putting on it. $100 risk will end up giving you probably 10 grand on it. So you'll end up making the 10 grand if it's gone 100%. So very nice. But yeah, we're not seeing that here. We're going to speed up a bit too. So Algorand, we're not seeing that there. We're not seeing fuck all there. Same sort of deal. And it hasn't really had much of an overextension, nor is it a strong coin. Arbitrum, I think I had a blue bar recently. Yep, had a blue bar recently. So again, it's not the it's not the first cab off the rank that you want to do and try and be involved in a reversal. We tried to short Asta, and there's a bit of hoopla going on. We got stopped out up here. I mean, we missed out on. I took the early trade. I took the early trade. I've got an alert up here on the buy side, liquidity obviously. I took the early trade before it had a chance to really step into those next trends. Trend phase 1, trend phase 2, etc. We didn't really we gave it, I think we shorted here. We shorted here. Yeah, we shorted here and we got blown past that. Too gun shy to jump in to the next entry. This is not too bad for a short opportunity here. It's just like, once you get shot. But again, look, the whole sort of thesis on this trade was to short the range high, the bull trap on the range high. So what you're seeing right now is I'm just drawing a range across like that, and then we're just expecting this here to be the bull trap, and then down from there. But there was too many people with the same idea. I was part of the masses, and it busted through. But now it's still sort of, relatively speaking, the same trade is quite available. So I might low-key chuck another small Asta short on, roll the dice. We just want to be getting a decent entry, which is probably now to an extent. Just want to get a swing high, maybe 15-minute chart will do, get the best of the day, best move of the day. Yep. I'll take a 10-minute. We'll get one of, if not the best move of the day. We've already got an alert here set. So once this stochastic swings up, we get a bit of a momentum high. We might get lucky enough for it to take out some of this liquidity if we get a chance. We'll get alerted. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, and we miss out on that trade. But we could potentially be trying to short Asta again, because it does have the hallmarks of fading against the trend move. Atom, let's have a look at Atom. Atom is completely fucked. One of the shorts of the decade. Oh my god. You wouldn't hold it for a year, but it's a slow grind. It's one of those ones where you sort of get pieced out from the funding rate anyways. But yeah, Atom, fuck. Poor Atom holders. That's another one. AVAX, Spion, I really thought this might have had a little chance to come back and shine. I was sort of rooting for it in a way, just to sort of add fire to the whole L1 narrative, and it's just done jack shit. Absolutely jack shit. This is just such a strong, tight downtrend. Look at that. Fuck, and this is the low volatility that I was talking about. You miss out on the gains of volatility, but what you do get is less liquidations. BNB, that's an interesting one. Now this is a bottom that I would like to time. Bottom that I would like to smash. Yep. I'm just pondering my orb. What are we looking at? Some bullish divergence. It broke down. Trend, phase 1 trend is also broken down. It's coming down. It's taking all this liquidity. You can see where the stop loss is going to be, boys. They're all going to be under this. This was just a no-brainer. It was always going to come under here. Where else has it gone? Under this. Could it make it to the lows of 750? It could. Have we seen any strength yet? No. This is just one of those ones where what's probably going to happen is you can see that even though if it does continue trending down, you can see that that's sort of the mean average. So what you might find is it sort of comes back up and then just continues lower like that. Very likely, it coming all the way up here is only going to be a fuck all percentage. It's not going to be massive, 5%. So this is one of those ones where If it come back down, made a lower low on a low time frame, you could use really high leverage for a trade, because you know, even if like it's just, you're gonna get, if you use lower leverage, you're just gonna get stopped out anyway, so you may as well take the risk as it is. I'm gonna set an alert for this coin as well. For a stochastic, I'll take a 15-minute, I'll take a 30-minute low. Yeah, I'll take a 30-minute low for an alert. When the momentum starts swinging down to the lows, we will be there for it again for a potential long. Again for a potential long. So BNB is looking alright. That's one of those coins that you would long. You would try and long. What's next? BTC. No, we'll skip that. I mean, BTC, like, it's you know, obviously if you don't know Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin, and it's just sort of powering up at the moment, grinding up after an overextension. So like we said in the blockchain bulls yesterday, this was really good buying. When you see the chart go like that, it's like, yep, spot, you know, safe. This AI piece of shit, this scam coin's just going to be having this massive short squeeze again, probably. Oh my fucking god, this is the one that got away. Look at this, buy side liquidity, we were waiting for it. If you see any scam coins on the horizon like this, please let me know, or stay on us, because fuck me. Okay, let's just put this into context here. 10x leverage, 2028, 10x leverage, 28x or 29x trade. What's that going to get you? 290x your money. 290x your money if we shorted it when we were talking about shorting it. It's always the always the life-changing ones that fucking you happen to just get distracted from or whatever. It's hard to want to touch this piece of shit, obviously, because it's so scammed out. I don't even reckon it's in the top 100 anymore. When I made this list, it probably would have been. The funding rate's going to be nil. Yeah, it's just a complete dump. The founders are getting any money they can for it. Obviously nothing locked. Crypto.com, 12-hour chart. Wow. Very steep. Very fucked. You know, it's just getting long in the tooth now to short these things. Like, what more are you going to get out of it? You know, famous last words. You might end up getting shitloads out of it, but there's none of this. There's none of this to short it yet. So unless we find a chart sort of like Asta where it's like that, don't worry about shorting, and looking for a coin that could potentially be longed. So there are options. You just know, like I said earlier, we're going to get a lot of the same sort of scenario for a lot of this shit. Oh god, this is fucking Doge to 10 cents, probably. Polkadot. Fuck man. ENA. We got a blue bar on that. We're getting a lot of blue bars on that as it just continues down. Blue bar says head fake lower. Blue bar up here. Blue bar says head fake lower. Blue bar says wasn't even enough to head fake, and then just lower, You know, blue bar, head fake, lower. So your blue bar just gives you the warning that it's about to do that. Don't want to touch it. ETC, you know, again, it's sort of starting to look a little bit more longable. Don't want to touch it. Ethereum, cut through the knot like butter. It's in this huge range now. So, fuck, man. I just don't want to even. I don't want to even see it. I do not even want to see it. You know, once a coin comes down and breaks these knots, unties the knot, you know, metaphorical knot, a knot is made, trends up, makes a knot, comes down, tries to untie the knot, rejected, breaks the knot. what happens next? Goes down into the preceding range. So, you know, this is a pre-existing range that, like, I'd say Ethereum's literally got the first half of next week to get the fuck out of there. Otherwise, it's going to be spending weeks in this range, and you're going to see lows, or new lows of 2,100, 2,200, 2,300. That area is going to be the next spot to long ETH. Fuck. Depressing, unless you're shorting. KuCoin was another short that got away. Amazing gains. If you can flip the fence, if you can sit on both sides of it, look, it's just finally reached this low that it had all the way back when. We're not getting low volatility like there was there. I was looking at that expecting there to be blue bars. There wasn't. Surprised on that. Where's the daily chart? No. Just basically looking for low volatility. Fuck all. Yeah, KuCoin, eh? It's one of those ones where if you can ride it up and ride it down, you're a millionaire. You just, you know, if you played that right, just expected it, just play the long like we did, and then play that like we did, but then we didn't play this. And we got away from it and haven't touched it since. But imagine that, you're just like, yep, long it till the double top, you know, inverse head and shoulders, and then start the short. Look how much this has gone down. Bruh. Fuck, you'd be up 600, 700%. 10x, 70x. Holy. Yeah. Yep, same deal. Nothing really to do there. Holy fuck, cunt. This was that short squeeze that I was sort of telling you about. We waited. This was going to be the other short, the other famous short. We set an alert here on this buy side liquidity, which never got touched, so I can delete that now. But we were waiting for a better entry, and as you can see, it did not give us one. That was a very good, obvious. We see once it does this, and then once you start getting red bars, there's no, unless there's unless there is nobody shorting it at all, it's gonna go down, sorry. FLR, couldn't even tell you what the fuck that is. Shit. GTC. Shit. How are these coins still in the top 100? At least that's trying to make a double bottom. There is some bullish divergence on that. See? Price making lower lows. RSI indicator making higher lows. But I've got nothing, no skin in the game for that. H-bar, this is another one where it's just busted out, sort of doing one of those feints, potentially a bear trap. Not bad longing, potentially. We'll put that on the radar. Hype is fuck yeah. I think Hype's gonna make it down to this knot. So tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. So Hype was in a range, and now it's at the extremely good buy zone for a range. I mean, if the market can flip back, in hindsight, this is going to be a good one. I still am pretty confident on Hype long term. It's still being used, it's still generating cash, but the expected place of arrival is the knot. And it's not a coin that I really have the balls to short either, because when it turns so strong with the buyback scheme. So this is more of a patience thing, and you know, definitely want to know if the price comes into this rectangle. ICP, this is like Filecoin, another one of those fucking squeezes that you could have short. IMX, we got blue bar alert on that was telling us to short it. Missed that one. IP, scam. CAS, fucked, absolutely fucked, completely fucked. Link, fucked. You just got to see a little, it's the same as all the strong ones are sort of doing the same shit, where they've given us this tempting bear trap opportunity to enter, this big dick entry, high leverage big dick entry. LTC, strangely stronger than most, to be fair, still sort of holding that this big mega range, can box it all, fit 90% of price action within this box. It's sort of keeping these range lows. LTC, MNT, wow. Wow, fucking wow. Keep it in mind if you see this sort of shit in the future. Short it. Wow. Morpho, that was a good blue bar, man. That was another fucking great blue bar that we missed. This is holding its range. Another really ballsy long opportunity there. MU, we've got a short on this. It's not as weak as I'm hoping for, but we've taken some profit on here already. This has been a good trade so far. You can see that, there's a knot down here, and I'm hoping that it reaches it. I don't know what the fuck is propping the price up. I think there's just very low circulation, so fuck all float. That's still on. Near, this trade is over now. That's what we're looking for into Freshie. That was just an absolutely phenomenal trade. Right now from our entry, be up 70%. We use 20x leverage on something like that. So, OKB, fucked. We're getting to the end of here. So, absolutely fucked. Ondo, fucked. Gold. Okay, so obviously it's gold, mirrors the price of gold, but it's scammy. Gold looks, yeah, it's very interesting. Haven't actually looked at the gold price in a little bit. Very interesting sort of situation that gold's in right now. They reckon ascending triangles, bull pennants like this have a higher probability of going up. I haven't seen that. Let's find out. Pengu, wow. 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 Fuck, doesn't sentiment change? Doesn't your mind... Doesn't everything just fucking change quick? You just sort of deal with it. It's like Bitcoin was never going to be 80k. And now it is. Certainties. Put up a little post in the group today about certainties. If you want to lose money, be certain about something. No exit strategy. Matic. Fuck, it's nice. This is such good shorting, this Matic coin. It's just Indian run. They just cash out, so fuck. Pump Fun. Well, Pump Fun has a good tendency of pumping, believe it or not, when their buybacks run in. This is sort of an interesting one, just due to the liquidity areas that it's just taken out. Big, just littered with bullish divergence. Like me thinking and not talking is crucial for this exercise. You gotta fucking have a think, my guy. Just have a little think about what you're looking at. I'm just seeing, truly seeing what I like to see. And these descending triangles, these wedges, if you will. It's just tempting, It's tempting. And when I say tempting, what I mean by that is just like it's a low confidence trade. So what I mean by that, it's like, okay, so Chuck, let's just say you got an account worth 10 grand, risk 100, risk 50, put a trade on, put a long on, have a go, have a crack. Have a crack at a long. All that matters is just the percentage that you put on the trade. That's all that matters. You know, your confidence, the confluence, how much that you want to put on the trade should be how much you risk of your portfolio should either be just set one glove fits all, which I don't believe is a good way to do it. You want to be able to exercise your certainty. So you just have, maybe even just have 3 different brackets, you know, like high risk, medium risk, low risk, or high certainty, medium certainty, low certainty, something like that. And you might risk 5% of your portfolio, 2% of your portfolio, 1% of your portfolio. Like, that's actually pretty stock standard sort of behavior and something that you can do. And when you're trying for an against the trend bottom time, like if you were to long pump fun right here, what you would be doing is, yeah, obviously the high risk, low, put fuck all on it, but just have a go. Stay in the market. Ooh, okay, here's one fresh off the block. QNT must be getting absolutely shorted into oblivion. Okay, things are starting to happen. Render. Lower lows. Didn't get the entry, obviously. Shiba Inu. Fuck, just like bonking. Sky, holy what is that? Alright, here we go. Solana. Okay. I usually long Solana first. It's usually one of the, you know, safer ones. Ethereum, Solana. When I'm going for an against the trend long, I'm usually jumping on something like Ethereum, Solana. Something safer, you know. You get the results if they're there. Okay, Solana is, so it's taken out all of these stop losses where people would have had their stops. All of these stop losses have been fucked. All of these stop losses has been fucked. What's next? What's next is this. You know, like, it's either going to be, the bottom is either going to be just below this, which is where it's at right now, or it's going to be just below this, where it's at right now, or it's just full see you in Valhalla mode. God, it just doesn't look very... You know, like, what does this look like? This looks a lot steeper, fucking much steeper. It's outside the trend, it's outside the phase 1, it's been in the phase 2. I wanted to really see something compelling here with Solana. Obviously, I'm looking, you know, I'm biasly looking for a long, looking for a trade. Zooming in, 1 hour chart, 1 candle equals 1 hour. Might have some divergence. Oh, barely. Momentum swinging up and doing nothing. Man, this is just... It's like broadening, clearly a bull trap. Oh, it's grim. It's grim. There's no blue bars, there's no consolidation, it's just fuck it. People getting absolutely fucked. Alright. SPX. This is that meme coin that was going to change the world, the industry. And I had a couple of good trades on this in the past. This is just full knife catching behavior right here if you want to get in any longs. Sui, oh. Okay, well this is actually... Wait, how everybody reach out to Raoul Powell, who's just gone absolutely obnoxiously overweight Sui. Holy fuck, he'd be pained. The cunt's gone completely broke. Sui, man, you never show your cards either. Like, if you're that big of an influencer. Oh, the idiot would have been so high on his own piss that he drunk it up here. Oh, wow. You know, in Sui's heyday, this time last year, you would never, ever, ever expect it to be all the way back down to $1.30 unless you thought it was a piece of shit. Big knot here, basically been obliterated. Where's the next range lows? 76 cents. I mean, fuck. This is one of those ones that looks like hopeless. And let's have a little look at Sui here on the funding rate and stuff, get a little bit of insider information, because we could see if we can sort of counter. Oh, it's finally red. Not that that's changed anything or stopped anything. Where's the liquidations happened? Yeah, massive. Only $3 million though. It's not that big for a coin of this size. Long short ratio. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, what you can do here is you can just see its previous price behavior, right? So, you know, what does it do on bottoms? It typically reaches its lows on the long short ratio at bottoms, at or just before. It's not even trending down yet. Shorts in control at a serious major macro bottom. Oh, it's so far from that. Look at this. Like, I mean, if I was to long here, I'm just literally just fucking pretty much donating. I'd almost just say certainly donating. In saying this, there will be a time where it'll just be like this. Take out some of that. The market's just not short enough either, so fuck, man. I honestly look you dead straight and wanted to be convinced. I wanted to be convinced that we'd get some good longs here. I wanted to be convinced of a bottom, but I'm just not seeing it yet. Ton, TRX. If you're to roll the dice and go for a long at the minute, wow, Uniswap's weird. Look at that. Uniswap's trying to put in a higher low. That's very strange. If I was to long right now, Sui'd be up there because it's just, you're just doing something mad. There's no shorts around. It's truly a sit on your hands moment. World Liberty Finance. Alright, hang on. Hang on there. What in the blaming hell is this? Then. Okay. Who bought that? CZ had to buy that, did he? That part of his fucking escape. Okay. That's an against the trend pump, isn't it? World Liberty Finance. Let's have a look at the framing rate. It's popular. We're not the only ones that have seen this. If we're going to short this, we've got to be greedy. You can either short it here and be part of the majority, see if the majority wins, rarely. Or you can set an alert, go for something higher. That's a potential short. XLM, XMR, hourly chart. XMR looks more bottomy than most. Fuck. Still in the trend, still alive, still hanging in there. Look at that. Range lows. What's XRP doing? Finally broke it, eh? Alright, so this is a thing to just take into consideration here. Alright, if you're an XRP believer, what's happened with XRP for the last year, literally 1 year, November 2024-ish, or December, 10th of December. What it's done is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times that it's broken down from this range low support, and 11 times you've gotten at least a pump of something along the lines of 30 something percent. Will this time be different? This is the 12th time that it has broken it. XRP is under $1.90, so this is just sort of like a word out to all the XRP army, XRP believers. If you like bargain buying XRP, then 11 times in the past year it has bounced from this area. This has been the key area to buy. This has been the bargain bin opportunity for the last year, 12 months. So if you're buying now, you're buying in the bargain area zone that it's bounced from. This is a key point for XRP. A good longing opportunity. This has been every single time for the past year. XRP. ZEC, Zcash, it's finally getting that dump, man. Triple top, back down to the knot before any considerations of longing. Again, we missed the short. We've tried to short this before down here. We tried to short it down here, which is sort of, you get burnt once. How many times you just sort of throw yourself into the madness and just keep trying to short the same thing? You're wrong, and if you're wrong and it goes even further against, you should probably double down and be wrong again if nothing else has changed other than the price. So basically, you're pretty much just either going to wait for a bounce and short ZEC, or you're just going to stay the fuck away from this, because this is on a rolling, it's a car with no handbrake in neutral, rolling down the steepest hill in your area. Alright, if you've watched any of this, appreciate it. If you've hung around to the end, you're fucking crazy. I haven't found any truly strong, compelling coins. BNB looks like the safest long. XMR looks like a relatively good long. SUI looks like a good, fun, risky long. World Liberty Finance will be a good short soon. That's about it. Other than that, go out and fucking play with the butterflies, smell the roses, and I'll talk to you soon. Ta-ta, bye for now, and thank you. Have a great weekend. See you later.